Phantasmagoria, Asian vampires, zombies, and demons. The shadow of the shame, undead beings from another world. Some people believe in ghosts, some people don't. But there is a place where magic, religion, and science mix and commingle and cohabitate. This is their tale. Visit, come follow me to Asia. In China, the most popular vampire series was called Mr. Vampire, but in actuality, these were zombies. They walked stiffly and weren't very sexy, but Mr. Vampire sounded much better than Mr. Zombie and much sexier. But if you watch the film, not much sex, just a lot of death. And they're mostly comedies. So enjoy the vampire series called Mr. Vampire. In Chinese cinema, the most famous films are about fox spirits. That is, films that have a vampiric edge. But these fox spirits, yes, there may be blood and they may bite like a vampire, but in actuality, they don't want your blood. They want your energy. They will suck your chi. So don't let them suck your chi. Watch the most famous movie that's been made over and over again called Painted Skin, about a shape-shifting demon who's very sexy, by the way. Beware. Japan also has fox spirits, but in Japanese cinema, one of the most popular things that happen are these demons that were once, in fact, gods. They kind of rule in the sky, but rule in the world and rule in our dreams. They too are like fox spirits, and they will suck your energy. A famous movie is Ashura. It's a J-vampire. Again, much different from Western vampires. They also need your chi, they need your energy, they need your love. They manipulate you for power, and they're rewarded with eternal light. Very much like vampires that can live eternally. One of the most famous anime and live action films about a fox spirit slash vampire is Blood, the Last Vampire. Interestingly, her origins are from America and from the Japanese invasion, that is the American invasion into Japan, or their existence on the army bases there, military bases in Okinawa. And the most demonic of them is a female, but she fights like a samurai, thinks like a samurai, but ultimately acts like a vampire and is a fox spirit. One of my favorites. If you watch old films of samurais in Japanese culture, like Sword of Dooms, it sort of has a cult of the demonic, a cult of the dead. In a sense, for a samurai to fight in any battle, they become like a vampire, or they become like a zombie. They become dead, ghost-like, a spirit, not real. And that's because, in a sense, this world is not real. I love the samurai film. And there's been a remake of Seven Samurais made as a steampunk anime. That is a joy to watch, because you see the magic of the samurai come alive in a sort of two-dimensional realm. But still, the spirit of the samurais, of the warrior as an undead ghost, as a warrior already dead, as a warrior who worships what it means and understand what it means to die. Because basically, only the dead can kill the dead. Remember, only the dead can bury the dead. It's an important idea. Some have called it the most important samurai film of all times. Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurais. Wow, watch this film. They really do capture the spirit. Kurosawa wrote the script, co-wrote it, but he had to figure out what a samurai thought about and thinks about day to day. There are no books written by samurais that explain their thoughts. Usually they just talk about techniques and strategies. So this was different. So he had to work and dig in deep of his own karma, his own traumas, and he put those into the characters of the seven samurai. And one of the seven samurais, Toshiya Mifune, is not really a samurai, just pretending to be a samurai, yet he has the most character than anybody else, and he is the most fearless than any other samurai. So it proves that the spirit of the warrior perhaps lives in everyone. Samurai films are not as popular as they used to be in the 1940s and 50s, but there are some actually good ones. Dororo is an amazing samurai film. It really talks about the human spirit, about love, and perhaps what it really means to be a samurai, a warrior ready to die at any moment, yet struggles with his day-to-day life. Watch it. So when we look at Japanese cinema, especially horror, and we look at the difference between vampire Japanese and zombie Japanese cinema, there's a lot of similarities. And this is a sexy zombie hunter movie. The only way to kill a zombie or vampire in Chinese, or that is in Japanese cinema, is to use the sword. If you cut their head off, they die, instead of stabbing them in the heart. Well, what happens when you put the mob or the Yakuza in a zombie film? What happens when you try to make the Yakuza control zombies and run the demons? You have a very interesting film called Versus, actually one of my favorite movies. It mixes evil with good and dead. Try to see it. Finally, why are horror films becoming so popular in Japan? One person says it's because it has become a nightmare to live in Japan. It's too expensive. No matter how much you make, no matter what job you work in, no matter if you come from a rich family, you feel poor. You can never, ever make enough money. And in a sense, the banks don't really have money. That's why recessions and things happen. They're often called zombie banks, but that takes on a new meaning in Japan. Japan has a rich history of different types of demons called yokai. So there are tall demons, skinny demons, animal demons, umbrella demons. You name it, there's a type of demon. Turtle demons. So this is a history rich in lore, and that's why movies from Japan are very exciting, especially to American, European, and Latin American countries. It's something different. Even in Japanese culture, an umbrella can become a demon. A karakusa. Ah! So one way to think about cinema is that it's actually just an old type of version of shadow play. Before we had movies, before we had pictures, there were storytellers who used shadows and our imagination to examine a narrative. And in Japan, Kamishibai is street storytelling. It still exists at some places in some carnivals. A street person will just be telling a story, you stop and listen. Obviously, usually it's for children, but adults love these too. Just as in Japan, adults love mangas And if you're in a subway or a metro, you see adults being the main readers of their comic books. Walter Ong once said that reading and writing and literacy constructs consciousness. I would add also media. We are the things that we see and are influenced by. But the ideal of Walter Ong actually goes back to Plato. In a sense, we may be in a cave, but because we think we see things like shadows, and because shadow play became our stories, and because the stories that we're told, the books that we read, they didn't have books back then, but the point is we are influenced by the narratives that people give us, including our own narratives. We can lie and make up things. So the demons of the world, the demons of our nightmare become the reality of the life we live. Just ask a Vietnam War vet or any war vet and see how they survived PTSD. We are the fights and the demons that we live. Every bad thing that has influenced us returns again to make us scared. That's all horror is. The illusion and the power that we give to our imagination that takes over from the beauty of every single day and every single moment. So please, if you haven't seen your grandmother in 2 weeks, call her. If you haven't seen your husband today, call him. Please appreciate your dog more, appreciate people more, help others. We are the people that we live with. It takes a village to raise a child. Welcome to the village. Welcome away from the nightmare. Stop isolating yourself. Be with others to be others. Thank you. Finally, it's important to forgive, and give more. We are the demons we create. They do not have any power over us because we are the demons. We created this world. We also created the demons. We created the dreams. We are the creators of the nightmares. We invent the narratives. We direct the movies. We pay money to see these movies. It's real only because we believe in it. So be more with others. Love others more. Help others more. We are each other more. Thank you for your time.